I'm not showing you these, and you're going to get all these slides. I'm not showing you these because I agree with all of them. I'm showing you how far we've drifted. Remember, Andrew Carnegie's got 4 rules of success. The first one is financial motive must prevail, and the other 3 don't count. Financial motive must prevail. And if you don't think money's important, fine, but you can't do anything without it. Without it. The inability for people to think out of their comfort zone is called cognitive dissonance, which means mental distress or discomfort experienced by an individual who holds 2 or more contradictory beliefs, ideas, or values at the same time, or is confronted by new information that conflicts with existing beliefs, ideas, or values. That's where we are today. That's where we are today. And the kids, not just the kids that come here, but the kids on YouTube, intellectually understand this, but part of their cognitive dissonance, emotionally, they don't. They don't get it. It doesn't resonate. Most of the things that don't resonate with you guys and gals is because you don't want it to resonate, because it really tells the truth about who you are, what you are. It has nothing to do with what you can be. And if I based my coaching the last almost 24 years on just who you are and what you are, I'd never coach anybody, because you're not in a place anywhere near where you should be. I coach, mentor, because what you can be, and what you can be is to partially fulfill your ultimate potential, because nobody fulfills their ultimate potential, myself included, and Bill Gates nor anybody since the beginning of time. But if I just based it on who you are today, I sit in my office and play with my computer. I used to play computer chess. I stopped playing. I used to be a pretty good chess player. And about 25 years ago, the Karpov, or one of the Russian chess world champs, came out with a computer game. And I was staying at the guy that wrote James Bond, those movies. What is it? Ian Fleming's house in Jamaica. I'm staying at his house. We're renting it. And it had an infinity pool. I didn't know what an infinity pool was. Some of you probably still don't know what it is. In the pool, I'm sitting there and I'm playing chess with myself in the computer. And when I beat it at level 17, which is Grandmaster, I took the machine. I still have the machine here. I took it. I put it in its case, still with the moves, and I never played chess again. Now, young chess champion kids have told me, but Dan, the art of the computer game, electronic games, has improved. So you may not be able to beat it at Grandmaster anymore. Yeah, but I did. That's it. I know when to walk away. And so I never played again. Okay. About that same time frame, I played with my son Derek. And I mean, he was 6, 7 years old, and he was just learning how to play chess. And he played me to a stalemate. And then I beat the thing, and I've never played chess with my kid again. And the reason why, when you walk up in the snooker room, in the game room, we have chess tables and chess boards around, because I used to play a lot of chess. But those things have got dust. Well, hopefully they dust them, because I knew that's it. I know when to walk away. And the great thing about the QLA model is you don't ever have to walk away. You can be the driving force in the first 5 or 6 or 7 deals, and then you can become the chairman. So you've always got your toe in the water, so to speak, of the deals. And a few of the guys. Bruce Whipple, to name one, they have their own mentor practices. So you never have to walk away from this. You can always be part of it. But I mean, to say that it's not fun, I mean, I'd be disingenuous. It is fun. Doing deals is fun. And it's not necessarily creating the money, it's doing the deals. It's getting people to do what they don't want to do to be what they want to be. And that's what QLA does. And what I do, arguably I'm the best on the planet at doing it. And then when you do a series of deals, I mean, your dream team will follow you. I'm not saying they're going to follow you into combat, get overzealous in my metaphors, but they will certainly follow you from transaction to transaction because everybody loves a winner. And I've been fortunate, last 35 years or so, I've been considered a winner of that caliber, and so it's not difficult for me to recruit people, although I don't do much of it anymore, recruit people to transactions. Whoops. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. I'm going to put you in a position where you're either going to succeed or die. Not physically die, but I mean emotionally die, because I'm going to put your back right up against the wall. And I give, and I ask for no quarter, and I give no quarter, meaning I ask for no easiness. I'm an old man. I'm old enough to be a grandfather. Forget all that shit. And I give no quarter because I drive you as needed. In some of the wartime little visual metaphors that we use today show that. I mean, that's life, kids. That's life. And and if you haven't been in a position, business is life and death. It is. And if you're in a business now that's not life and death, then something's not right with the model. I mean, if you think that Ford Motor Company likes the fact that Tesla now has the biggest market cap motor car company in the world, you're fucking crazy. Old man Ford is rolling over in his grave. And the current chairman, young Ford, well, he's not so young now, but young Ford is rolling over in his grave to think a fucking electric car company. I'm not taking anything away from Elon Musk or Tesla. But think of it this way. The first cars ever made on the planet in 1845 or 1855 were electric. Electric. The combustion engine didn't come for another 40 years or something. If we really wanted electric cars, don't you think we could have developed them in 170 years, 165 years? We don't want electric cars. And I assure you the big petroleum companies don't want electric cars. And I absolutely can convince you that the Middle Eastern countries, the Saudis, etc., don't want electric cars. But we've had plenty of time to develop. One of the things that the engineer guys been through here, we've had a few automotive engineers and we've had a few aerospace engineers. Dan, one of the reasons that Tesla has made such advances in just a short period of time could be that we had the technology all along. But we didn't use it. We shelved it. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't. But it makes perfect sense to me. Look at how far, and my hat's off to Mr. Musk. God bless him. Allah be with him. I mean, look at all the progress he's made. With the help of a $500 million loan from Obama, and he doesn't have to pay back and a few other things. But I mean, because we had the technology. And if we didn't have the direct technology, we certainly had the know-how to create the technology quickly, rapidly. Now, will this take off and pretty soon we're all going to have electric cars? No, I don't believe so. Not in my lifetime. Maybe in some of the teenagers' lifetime in the next 50, 60 years. But there's a reason. There's a reason that some of these things have, there's a reason why Mr. Musk, if I understand it correctly, he plans on not dying on this planet. Now, what does that mean? Now, think about it. He's not going to die. Where does he live? What city does he live near? Is he in Detroit, where the cars are? Or? Well, he lives in LA? Okay. why isn't he going to die in LA, and he plans on dying either on Mars or on the way to Mars? What does that say to you guys? Yeah, of course he does. Well, the biggest bodacious goal I ever heard is when Barack Hussein Obama, about 40 years ago, said when he was a dopehead that he was going to be the first black president. That's a big fucking bodacious goal, you know. But I mean, I take my hat off to him for that, for setting big goals. But getting back to Musk, because, you know, whether the Earth is wrung out and, you know, it's at the end of its cycle, which it's not, we've got, you know, I don't know how many more years, thousands though, not dozens. But he, you know, he plans on dying either on Mars, and I think it's going to take 10 or 15 years to get to Mars, or on the way to Mars. And, you know, that's pretty cool. That sounds cool to me. And I could live 15 years, you know, as long as they got treadmills and fucking things for me to exercise and work out on. Well, I won't have a six-pack and I won't have a 6% body fat like all you dynamos. I mean, and some of you, I look around the room and a stiff drink and a good fuck could kill every motherfucker in this room. Because you're weenies. Only transcended by bigger weenies on YouTube. And as we were saying before when we were not on YouTube, these guys are really tough on, you know, they really have smart mouths when they're have anonymous titles. I find it amusing. Where I come from, these kids wouldn't get past the 5th grade. Somebody would have put a shiv in their fucking belly, and they'd never get to have a six-pack because they'd cut all the muscle, you know. But anyway, by the way, YouTube, I'm teasing these kids about their masculinity, except for one. Getting back to Musk. So we have challenges that we're dealing with. Now, if global warming, again, remember I told you about, if global warming was for real, most of Central America, Los Angeles, Southern California, Florida, Louisiana, those are all gone. Manhattan's gone. The Netherlands are gone. Many of the Scandinavian countries are gone. I can go on, okay? Because the best case scenario, as I said on Joe Rogan's show, is it's going to go up 3.5 meters. That's about 10 feet. That's enough to bury all those people. Worst case scenario is going to go up 30 meters. If that's happened, Kansas is gone. And the last time I looked at a property, which is a few years ago, in Florida, there was no disclaimer in the prospectus, the private placement memorandum on the building, that said, if global warming's for real, 7 floors of this building will not be used because they're going to be underwater. I predict, if it's for real, the next big wave of class action lawsuits will be because it wasn't said in the investment prospectus that, you know, a good 30 to 40% of America and 40% of Europe are going to be underwater. And if it goes up, now they say it's going to happen within 50 to 300 years. Okay? But I don't think there's any time stipulation. Rockefeller, 30 Rock, Rockefeller Plaza, up to the 9th floor is gone. Now, when you think this shit through, I mean, come on. I mean, and maybe it is, and maybe, you know, it's like when the meteor's going to hit America, the world in the movies, they don't want to tell the people because the panic will set in, right? That's what the line in the movie. Well, maybe that's why they don't tell us the truth about global warming, if it is for real that, you know, we're going to lose 40% of America. And 60% of Europe, and all of Central America, and a good part of, I mean, maybe that's why they don't tell us. And maybe it's an Illuminati conspiracy. All the rich people that run the world, you know. Pardon? Yeah, which are aliens. Illuminati are the aliens, you know. And the guys that are Masons, dating back to George Washington, I mean, maybe that's it. maybe that's it. And if you believe that, I got a bridge in Brooklyn I'd like to sell you that I don't own. Now, I said that at the last seminar, and then some smartass from Google, or not Google, excuse me, YouTube, he said, well, Mr. Peña, you already sold something you didn't own, which is true. I took the only option public in the history of the world. I didn't own any of the assets I took public in 1984. Not a one of them. Not one penny's worth. So I got to stop. I'm glad I reminded myself. I got to stop using that fucking analogy because I've already sold something I didn't own before to the investment public when we took Great Western Public. I didn't own any of it. I had an option on all these properties, and so, but we took it public successfully, I might add. I had a sexual experience the other day in a Jaguar because Jaguar and I went public the same day. And whenever I get into a Jaguar limo, Sally teases me, my head rolls back, my eyes roll back, saliva starts running out of my mouth. It's better than sex, I'm telling you. Because I whipped the government and Maggie Thatcher and Jaguar's ass that day. And when you get that in your blood, kids, you got to have it again and again and again. And I've been blessed that I've done it many, many, many times. But I get more of a charge when I see you do it. When I see the young Phenom and these other guys do this shit. It's beyond your understanding how I get off on it because you're a real leader when you teach people how to be leaders that create other leaders. That's a real test of leadership. And that means I know the system works beyond a shadow of a doubt because I've got melon heads doing it. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean it in a positive way. And when I call you retarded, it's not in a negative way. I know it's hard to take retardation as a positive, but I mean in a positive way. That means just normal folks can do it. Because I am not normal. I am above the norm by anybody's definition. So, but when normal folks can do it, it's the best of all worlds. And you'd think, I'm only producing about 100, 120 people a year out of this deal here, although thousands and tens of thousands, I'm told, use it. But there's no competition. There's really no competition out there. And no matter where you are, once in a while we get Christopher will bump into somebody that you pitched. That happens 3 or 4 times a year. 3 or 4 times a year. You'd think after 24 years that they'd be, stepping on everybody's feet left, right, and center, but you don't. You just don't. That's because the financial world is a big, big, big place. And then just like, there's the Bulgarian Brute too. He was doing this shit before he got here, right? You got a chairman, you got this, okay. And he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I with respect, because you don't have to know what the fuck you're doing. Jesus Christ. Look at him. He looks like a fucking mongoloid idiot. God almighty, what do I have to do? It makes me crazy. You don't have to know. And the only thing that keeps you from doing it is fear. False expectations appearing real. And that's why when I call you a cunt, it's not because you're a vagina, although some of you look like vaginas. It's because you're cowards. They were produced by your parents who were produced by their parents. So we've got 2 or 3 generations of fucking cunts. Thank you, YouTube.